Hi, this is Weekly Reflections, and I'm back. This is Nancy Joy. We are just coming out of the trifecta of the cosmic world, somewhat of an overload because, of course, we had the 3 eclipses, which we've talked about. The last one was the 25th, so we're still under its influence a little bit. We had last Monday, we had the Uranus-Pluto Square go direct. And we had some of the largest, most strong, I don't know the scientific name, solar flares from our sun, completely transforming the sun almost in this past couple of weeks, middle of May and on. So I call it the trifecta, and it was a whopper. And of course, it was different for everybody. We've discussed some of the things going on with us, of course, emotionally. But as we're coming out of this, I ran into another person who has a great blog. I learned so much from him. His name is Michael Erlewine, I guess is how you say it. And link will be over here. He's a great astrologer amongst many other things. And what I like about him is he's so deep. He's deep. I like to go deep. I have a lot of that, scorpionic Uranus energy type in me, and I like to go deep. So I found his quote most interesting, and I thought how it applies to this time of transformation that we experience during this trifecta. And he says, when we're going through our most profound inner changes, our ego or self, the point of view of self, seems to retreat, leaving us for the moment with no compass. A man without a mission, so to speak. We all know we don't like that, not having a mission, right? It's like we went to bed with a to-do list and woke up with a blank page. And this is just excerpts. Those quotes weren't all in one piece from his blog, and one of his blogs, which I found fascinating. So as we're slowly emerging now from this triple header, everybody experienced it very differently. I kind of see 2 ways of experience. Some people went into what people have referred to me, they're talking about shock, or they feel like they're asleep, or they're in a bliss state, but they don't want to do anything, or they're still or uncertain. Whatever they were doing doesn't seem important anymore, that kind of thing. Then I have other side of the fence, people who are lit with their strongest desire and going, doing, getting it done. So, I have no judgment. Everybody went through the trifecta, and we're coming out of it the way they need to for them. So there's no judgment. I personally went deep, and had so much expansion, connections extraterrestrially, deep within myself. I felt I explored my inner space more deeply than I've ever been able to, because it was so crystal clear, that space. All the chatter on the outside do space was a lot tougher for me over this time. But when you're, like he says, when your outer world kind of goes still, who you think is yourself, which is really a large part your ego, goes into hiding, because it doesn't know what to do if it isn't doing and leading and guiding and making things happen, etc. So the self knows it's real. But sometimes when that self, that ego part, doesn't know it's real and it goes into hiding, that's when such huge inner exploration can happen, such huge expansion. So if you did experience it that way, the other thing that happens is that you get worried. You think something's wrong because you've lost maybe your drive or your initiative or your guidance. You thought you were going somewhere and you're not so certain. So I love the part when he says it feels like when you go to bed with a to-do list and you wake up and it's blank. And a lot of reason for that is that we are changing at the most profound level as human beings, consciously and physically and emotionally, that we ever have. It's profound. It's beyond what we have words for. So many of us are sleeping a lot, or we're getting headaches, or we're having whatever you call them, the symptoms of this. But when you're pulsed by the extreme solar flares we've been having in the midst of eclipses and Uranus-Pluto Square, it's like I said in the last one, if you don't feel it, you're in a coma. But don't worry, because you won't stay there long, right? Things are happening. Michael calls this time of inner expansion, where your cells, your information, everything, your consciousness is actually changing. He calls it the transfiguration of consciousness, and I think that's an excellent word. Your consciousness can't take the cosmic leap it is downloading in you to take when you are so busy in the noise on the outside, when that's the overriding factor. And so it's like you often have to learn how to go to this silent space. I'm fond of calling it the space between the spaces. I'm not always in it. Sometimes I'm out there with that burning desire, creating a new trip, writing a book, doing my blog, whatever. A burning desire's lighting me up. But I know very well when Ezekiel says, when you're out of balance with the creating, the doing, it's like you're running over yourself. You're running over that part of you that's so trying to expand, to take the cosmic leap. So I guess what I want to tell you in this reflections, if you've experienced it like me, don't worry so much. Nothing's wrong here. You are just getting lots of downloads of new energy fields, of new vibrations, and you're taking it all in. Maybe you just want to lie down and watch a movie or take a walk, and you have that old voice in your head telling you, well, you should do this, you should do that. No, you shouldn't. You should be in the space between the spaces if that's what's going on in your expansion. And more, as we understand our inner space, we're going to learn how to navigate through that by recognizing when this happens and embracing it and owning it and understanding it as an opportunity. Remember we said we're looking for the doorways and the opportunities and to step into them? Well, this is one of them, maybe one that you hadn't thought about. So if you're in that space where you're thinking there's something wrong with me because you just watched 3 movies on Netflix, maybe not. That's a form of taking away the self, taking away that chatter of what you should do and moving into a stillness, as Michael puts it. So I learned a lot from his blog. I really did. And I wanted to share. I want to move over so I can just get this bottom part, make sure. So I wanted to share all that with you because if you're like me, you're going through that space between the spaces. And, in the meantime, we are being bombarded with solar waves from our sun, obviously, that's changing what it's made out of. And also cosmic waves coming from space, coming from the universe. And all of this is transfiguring, transforming, and expanding us. I think the important thing to remember here is to not be stuck in either space. Not be stuck in the doer, go, and absorbed by the noise. And not be stuck in the space between the spaces. Enjoy it, embrace it, and you will quickly shift and move on from it. So I want to close with this great poem that Michael had about this space. And so for those of you who relate to this you're going to understand it, and it's going to make you feel better. It's a good space to be in. There's nothing wrong here. I mean, you just raced a marathon. You just ran the triple trifecta, right? And you're coming out in a new place. And your to-do list is going to be completely different when you come out of this space than anything you would have been doing during it. So he calls this water in the well. The rare times when nothing moves me and I don't feel like doing anything, perhaps this is some kind of a natural meditation, an effortless detachment from my day-to-day world. All that is missing from just being lazy is this awareness of my own condition. I don't waste time pretending to be busy, but just sit there for a long time. Nothing is missing. Watch a movie, read a book, sit or not, it makes no difference. I'm right here. Wow, I just love it. So thoughts to ponder this week. And before I say goodbye, I want to remind people that we're wondering if there's anyone out there interested in the crop circle journey. We're on decision point whether to go forward with it or not. So if you have any interest in Avalon, the UK, the Druids, the goddesses, King Arthur, and all of that encompasses the Glastonbury, England area, as well as the magnificent crop circles, and would like to be there this August as they're created and experience them, as well as the mystical, magical wonderful England. Please do get a hold of me. Send me an email or something so we know if you're interested. You can give me a call. We can work things out on the financial end. So let me know if there's any interest out there. Meantime, take care of who you are. Have a great week. We'll see you again next week. Bye.